Today we're going to put together a summer wreath. There's no one that looks forward to summer more than teachers. If you're looking for a great teacher gift and you're tired of giving them just the mug, how about make them a wreath? You can pick up some smaller wreaths like we did here and create like any design. Maybe you know your teacher best, what might suit their personality, or you can pick up a larger wreath, which is this one, a 24-inch wreath, and we're going to put this one together for Dr. Doodlebug herself. So what we did is we started with a 24-inch wreath. We've picked up mesh, a few props, and of course our beautiful selection of Reliant ribbon. Okay, once you've decided on your theme, for example this one we're going to go with some bugs, take a look at the colors, decide a few colors that might go with it, but always look to find something that'll really make it pop. One of my absolute favorite ribbons at Reliant is this large dot. It comes in several colors, but the black and white, for example, in this particular wreath, really makes those eyes on the bugs pop out. Looking at the black and white, that'll help with the pop, but then take a look at your ribbons. Be creative, don't be afraid to select. We've gone with a burlap, which is a very trendy ribbon. Of course, we're bringing all the bright colors of summer with some butterflies. Don't forget the blue, which is very popular this season. Different shades of blue. And then these, of course, have a little glitter, a little bling to it. Okay, so before we start, we've gotten all of our props together. We've chosen our ribbon. Now don't forget, you're going to need some wire, and of course you're going to need a hot glue gun because we'll always need to glue something that might not be quite right, sticking out. Plus our props, even though we're going to try and wire them down, we may need to use a little hot glue to make them stay a little more firm. Okay, so for prep work, what I like to do is go ahead and cut my strips ahead of time. I take about a 12-inch strip, and I decide how many flares I'm going to make on my wreath, and I'll go ahead and start it like that. And then what I do is I count them and then just fold them like that. So you just fold them and fold it and fold it. Once I've created all my folds, then I just go through the center and cut and cut. Strips completed. So keep in mind, I'm going to keep the same format for all of the wreaths. We don't want one teacher to think we like her more than the other, so we're going to make them all alike. That's why I waited to do the last one, and you can see the result, but we're going to put this one together and they all follow the exact same format. Okay, so we've gone ahead and attached some yellow mesh. We've just taken little bundles like we're doing here. What we're going to do is attach green now. We're going to take a little bundle, grab a piece of that vine with the wire, struggling there, into the vine wreath, and twist it down. So we'll twist that one down. Okay, so once we've attached it, that one, what we're going to do is grab a bundle, just like that. And what I do is I'll take that little piece of wire, twist it onto the mesh, and then attach the green to there. And then we'll do that all the way around. Okay, like I said, you continue to follow the green all the way around until you just twist it around until you have matched it up with the end. Okay, so after we're finished placing the mesh onto the wreath, we are going to place our props onto the wreath. So you decide where you'd like them to sit. Kind of placed our bugs strategically, kind of hooking them. And now what we'll do is we'll secure them. I'm going to take some wire to start and then use hot glue. Okay, so the mesh has been applied and our props are nice and secure. Now it's time to start adding our ribbon. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take those strips that we cut earlier as prep work, we're going to line them up, and we're just going to gather them in the center. And this is what I call a flare. I mean, I'm sure it's called many different things, but we're just going to call it a flare. And we're going to gather them in the center. I'm going to take a piece of wire those together. And you can do half and half if it's easier on your hands. I'm going to go ahead and try and put all those together, which is 2 sets of those. We're going to twist that together, and then that is ready to go onto our wreath. We're going to do that with the other strips, and then we'll be ready to place them on. Okay, so I've attached my flares, and last, I'm going to trim them at an angle. Remember to always trim this at an angle because it gives your project that finished look. Okay, next we're going to cut a couple of strips of the ribbon. So go ahead and cut one of each color. We're going to pinch it in the center and make just a loop. That's it. So these will be like tails with a little loop on the end, and we will pinch all of them together, wire them down. We have all our tails. We've made like loops, and we're going to attach that to the bottom of the wreath. Now on the ends of the tails, what we want to do is go ahead, you fold it in half and you cut them at an angle, creating a fishtail. That gives a nice finish, and we're going to do that to all of them. Remember, you fold it in half, cut at an angle, and create that fishtail. Okay, so now for the last set of ribbon, what we're going to do is the exact same thing, but just keep the tails a little bit shorter. So we're going to make those loops. Just fluff your loop, put it together. Almost looks like a bouquet. So we're going to make a smaller set. We're going to just wire those together, and we're going to put that at the top of our wreath. Right here, right by the bug. Okay, we've attached it. We fluff our loops. Remember, fluffing is important. Make sure the ribbons are all facing the correct side. Fluff them, and we can just decide which pattern we want to show. And then we're going to go ahead and cut fishtails on these as well. So remember, we fold it in half and cut it at an angle. Now we have that same finish at the top as we do at the bottom. Okay, so we've gone ahead and attached our ribbon, but another little secret is sometimes you get to the end of the mesh roll and you don't know what to do with those last little pieces. What you can do is cut just take it and just roll it just like that, and you just kind of make like a little tube and cut that off. Just keep it a little tight there, and what you do is you then attach it just like this, and it makes sort of like a little, I don't know, like a firecracker, and we can put that at the top so that it really just pops out on the wreath. Okay, so we took a look at our wreath, and we have these adorable firecrackers or worm-looking pieces of mesh, and just in order to look a little more symmetrical, instead of putting it at the top, we've decided to go ahead and attach it right here at the bottom, adding to that bow. Okay, so we've done our bows, we've done our mesh poppers, and now we're going to make sure everything is nice and secure with hot glue. So we're going to glue down our bugs so that we know they're not going anywhere. Okay, so we finished creating our wreath, we've added our props, we've done our ribbon, and we were inspired by the legs of our butterfly. We love the color, seeing how that is the hot color this year, and we've decided to add some glitter time. This is a wonderful glittered plastic that gives lots of dimension to the wreath. And keep in mind that glitter is not just for Christmas, it's for all occasions. So we're going to go ahead and attach this to the wreath, giving more dimension and having it coordinate with our little legs. Okay, so there's really no rhyme or reason how to do this. All you do is you insert a little piece at the end here of the vine wreath. You stick it, just slide it in, make sure it tucks tight, and then just start working it. What I did was I just cut a piece, twined it, did another piece, and then just kind of played with it. Wherever I needed to cut it off, I cut it off, and then just tucked it inside of the wreath. So there's really, like I said, no right or wrong way. Just go ahead and play with it. When you get to an end, clip it, pop it underneath the vine wreath, and you're good to go. Now, I do suggest perhaps you take some hot glue, and I'll do that next, and secure the pieces down so they don't pop out. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to take hot glue and just dauble just a little bit onto that plastic, just so, like I said, with the handling of the wreath, careful you don't burn yourself, it doesn't pop out. I mean, it's simple. You could just slide it back in, but since we're giving this as a gift, we don't want it to fall apart or pop out. We want it to be intact when we give it to the person. Okay, so our bug wreath is complete. This one's for Dr. Doodlebug. And for all you teachers out there, thank you for all you do, and have a great summer.